Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today we're going to go over the market as per usual, go over Tesla, see what happened, what we can expect for the rest of the week. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like button, but let's just jump straight into it. So Tesla ending the day down 2.5%, putting us at $277.70 compared to the market, or to, I guess the market, the NASDAQ, being down about 1.13%. Tesla, slightly underperforming, but nothing too absolutely crazy or wild. Apple actually having a fairly bad day as well, 1.52% for Apple, which, I mean, for Apple, that's not, fantastic, right? But anyways, let's go over the market, right? Let's talk about what the hell just happened today, right? So today was a bit of an L and a W for me. I did quite a bit of trades actually today on this red, as I'm selling puts and whatnot. But I'll be honest, at some points, the sell-off was a bit more aggressive than I thought it would be, at least for today. But nonetheless, so pretty much, it's a very simple thing that happened today. Tesla broke 280, which is a pretty important level. We talked about this level several times, right? We don't want to be breaking 280. And what happened? We broke it, right? As you can see, 280 was nice support, a resistance here, support. Pretty much there's support twice in these areas right here, and then here again today, yesterday and today. And then we finally broke it. And you can see once this candle broke down below like this and the support was lost, well, this essentially followed. Just a massive sell-off to essentially the next level of support, which happened to be around the 273-ish range, give or take, right? And that's kind of what it is, right? The 273 range you can see was, some support over here and resistance, and over here as well, right? So that's obviously, a level to keep out for. Essentially the next level, that's usually the way it works, right? So, what can we expect moving forward, right? Now, I'll be honest, at some points, Tesla looked like it would actually hold 280, which is why I personally entered like one bullish trade, kind of with the assumption that it would hold 280. Obviously, it didn't. So that trade was a little bit unfortunate. But then as we fell further, I sold more puts over to 270. And I think I sold another one for 267 or something like that, which then I bought back. As we kind of rallied from there, took a bit of a W there as well. So, sometimes the market just kind of, it is like this, right? And sometimes you'll get these kind of red days, especially, like 3 in a row, right? Pretty much Tesla has been selling off pretty aggressively the past few trading days, right? We went all the way up from this level back on the 24th of August, which was, I think, like last Thursday, maybe? Last Wednesday, actually, right? And then pretty much from last Wednesday to the end of this Tuesday this week. So pretty much almost a week of, trading itself. Pretty much, right? We went down at the lowest point, 10%, which is a decent amount, right? That's it's a fairly large drop, but sometimes it just kind of be like that, right? Especially when we came up over here, got rejected. Now, one thing I do want to say, I did mention yesterday how I thought we'll get a small rally into essentially a crash, and we actually got that. But unfortunately, sometimes this happens. This is something that's, doesn't always happen, but it is sometimes the case. We got a pre-market. I talked about yesterday how I expected, somewhere around 292. Pre-market, we did actually go up to 291, pretty close to the target that I was aiming for. And because we got there pre-market and then we sold off, that's pretty bad. And the fact that we came open above this level over here, which you can see right here was like 3 times we got rejected by this general level right here of like 287. And the fact that we opened and pretty much plummeted right below it and didn't really show any, pressure to the upside to go back above it, we just continued to sell off, bounce off 280, kind of held, and it looked like it would want to hold here for a little bit. So if I go back to, like, for instance, the regular trading and you go to like the 5-minute chart, it looked like it actually wanted to hold. The R side looked like it was setting slightly higher lows, and it was looking pretty okay until obviously it wasn't. So sometimes it just kind of be like that, right? But anyways, taking a look at the overall trend, as usual, the trend is still very bearish, right? The R side is pretty much pointing straight down. That doesn't mean that there won't be any potential green or even just consolidation, just sideways action of nothingness in between, of course. But ultimately, guys, the trend is still very well down. We are approaching the 50-day moving average, but nonetheless, we are still below the 21 EMA. The Bollinger Band, we're still hugging the red line, which I expect us to still hug the red line probably for the next day or two. So pretty much I expect some consolidation, and best case scenario, I expect a run up to maybe like absolute best case scenario will be a run up to around 285, but probably like around 280 is something I would also not be surprised to see whatsoever. The 200 moving average, it's not, forget about it, right? That's just not even a topic anymore. And naturally, we're still well below the short-term moving averages, being the 5 and the 10 moving average. So overall, the trend, guys, is still very much bearish. Now, that doesn't mean, like I said, that there cannot be any potential green coming up, right? So if we go over to the 15-minute, by the way, it's still looking pretty bad. The 5-minute, however, is starting to look a lot better. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow tomorrow we get a little bit of, relief, maybe a little bit of a rally to like 280. If we're lucky, maybe we'll go up to like 285. I wouldn't count on it. However, I would be quite surprised if we don't touch between 280 to like 281, somewhere in that range. I'll be surprised if we don't go there tomorrow. So that is kind of what I'm expecting. And then after that, probably like the rest of tomorrow or Thursday, I would also expect a consolidation to the sideways. Usually after these big moves like this, like today where the whole market has been pretty much plummeting, especially for the past few days, it's very common to get a bit of consolidation, kind of, let the market kind of chill a little bit, relax, like kind of, get everything back together before the next move happens, right? So that's kind of what I'm personally expecting at the moment, which is great for my sold puts. I did de-risk a little bit today. I took, again, a couple L's here and there, but also have, several W's as well. But ultimately, I did, sacrifice a bit of profit for the sake of de-risking, which is fine. Sometimes it just be like that, right? I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. That's pretty much what I think will happen next, ladies and gentlemen. There's really not a whole lot more to talk about. The indices couldn't close back above 400 for the SPY, so it's not looking that great. Also below the 50 moving average, of course, well below the 200. The 200 is well above us up here, behind the red line, sort of up here. But we actually went below the 50 moving average for the SPY and the QQQ today, which isn't great. So the market just overall, ultimately, guys, it looks quite weak. Even though short term, like very short term, like it looks like it kind of wants to maybe potentially look for a bounce. Because it is setting up a bit of a bullish divergence here for the SPY and the QQQ. It does look like it does want to get a bit of a relief rally, nothing too crazy. Like I would be surprised if the QQQ goes higher than 313, and I'll be surprised if SPY goes higher than like 410-ish, right? But those are the levels I wouldn't be surprised. However, if they do potentially rally to sometime, maybe this week, maybe even very early next week, somewhere along the lines of that. But assuming we get rejected at these levels I just mentioned, which I do think we will, I do expect a further sell-off to continue. And again, for Tesla, if those guys go all the way up to those levels, Tesla wouldn't be surprising if it goes up to 285 once again, and then potentially just sells off from there. And that's where more pain is really going to start, especially in September. Like I've said several times, guys, September historically a bad month, ultimately quite bearish for it. But you never know. Sometimes this market can throw a curveball, so you kind of have to kind of play it as it goes, right, or play it as it comes. That's pretty much what I'm seeing as of right now, ladies and gentlemen. So, let me know what you think about it down below. The main level I would also be paying attention to, ultimately, guys, on top of the 50-day moving average, is this kind of 262-ish level. Because if you lose this level, then that's really, really bad. Because ideally, what you want to see as a Tesla bull is, the realistic worst case scenario for, not worst case, but for the bulls at least, is you want to see it fall back down to 262, and you want to see it bounce, and like a strong bounce too, not just like a weak bounce. Like you don't want essentially this kind of like 257 to 262 level to like fall. You don't want that level to fall. It's a very important level to keep. And the reason is because this is the level that we got rejected several times, the level that we pushed above to kind of start this rally. And ideally what you want to do is have a bounce off this level to show that, maybe we're actually sort of back in an uptrend here. Because if we break below this level, then it pretty much confirms that, most likely we are still ultimately in a downtrend as opposed to being in a potential uptrend. So that is definitely something else to consider. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing, guys. Do I think this will break up? I actually do think it will break, unfortunately. That, it is what it is. Because I am overall, like I said, quite bearish on the market for the, for fall, the season fall, especially with midterms coming up as well, early November, but the lead up into midterms, I can't imagine being bullish. So yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. This is kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. I am slowly entering bullish positions, but again, kind of nibbling. Like even if all the sold puts I have right now, which again, I have one that'll most likely get assigned. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. And then I have 3 more open ones, right? So that's essentially like technically 400 shares if all of them get assigned. For me, that's essentially these 400 shares is almost like 100 and like about 30-ish shares from, the pre-split, right? Which is a lot. Of course, that is a decent amount, but for me, that's about like, a small-ish percentage of my portfolio. It's not like a large, but it's a small-ish. So even if that were to happen, I'm still, like easily like 60 to 70% cash. So I'll be buying the dips even as it goes further. Like this is not a level I would personally be looking to like all in, as I've seen some people do. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Be ready for fall. It'll be an interesting season for sure for the market. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. I think there's gonna be great opportunities coming up. Just gotta be patient. Not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. Make your own decisions. Do your own research. But until then, guys, until tomorrow, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you then. Peace.